Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It finally happened. The moment Sister Wives fans have been predicting for years, and it's even messier than anyone imagined. According to multiple insiders buzzing around the Brown family circle, Kody Brown's latest desperate money grab from Meri and Janelle has officially blown up in his face, sparking what might be the most explosive financial fallout in Sister Wives history. And if you thought Kody Pass, the family property division, and the emotional betrayals were dramatic before, buckle up, because this new wave of chaos is showing the world exactly how far Kody is willing to go, and how badly he miscalculated. It all started quietly, long after Janelle and Meri emotionally detached and began rebuilding their lives away from the shadow of Kody and Robyn's now infamous pairing. But sources say Kody believed he still held leverage, financial, spiritual, emotional, over his former wives. He allegedly began reaching out, trying to restructure old Brown family finances, insisting that there were unfinished business matters related to Kody Pass investments, business expenses, and so-called joint financial ventures from the plural marriage era. But here's where it gets wild. Janelle and Meri reportedly didn't just reject his attempts, they fired back, refusing to hand over another dime to a man they believe used them and left them with nothing while he built his emotionally exclusive mansion-based monarchy with Robyn. Janelle, who famously said on camera that she left her marriage with nothing, is now being praised by fans for not letting Kody drain another ounce of her energy or wallet. She's been hustling, detoxing, rebuilding her courage and confidence, standing firmly on her own, and the idea of her even entertaining Kody's sudden shared assets speeches sent fans into a frenzy. Meanwhile, Meri, who stayed loyal to the Brown family vision for years despite endless emotional distance from Kody, has finally found her own footing, her new love life warming up with hopeful whispers online, her business thriving, her entire aura glowing. She wasn't about to let Kody return like a financial boomerang demanding money or investment realignments. But why was Kody suddenly scrambling financially? That's the burning question simmering across fan pages and Reddit threads. Insiders claim Kody is feeling the heat, from maintaining his luxury lifestyle with Robyn, to covering property obligations, to trying to appear financially secure despite 3 wives walking away and the family income shrinking dramatically. TLC money only goes so far when your plural kingdom collapses and the viewers stop seeing your narrative as noble spiritual pluralism and start seeing it as ego, neglect, favoritism, and mismanagement. Allegedly, Kody hoped he could tap into Meri and Janelle's past investments, perhaps expecting emotional loyalty or guilt to work in his favor. Instead, the women who once stood silently by his side are now finding their voices, and they're not soft. They're fierce. They're independent. They're done. Fans claim Kody underestimated them the same way he underestimated Christine, assuming the women would always be there, always help, always bend. Instead, he accidentally united them further, not as sister wives, but as empowered individuals who refuse to fund the empire that cast them out. Social media is erupting with commentary. One fan writes, "Kody only wants them when he needs their money, not their hearts, loyalty, or opinions." Another says, "He built that castle with Robyn and forgot the foundation was the other wives. Now he's shocked it's collapsing." The symbolism is almost poetic. Kody once stood at the center of a sprawling plural family empire, a self-appointed leader guided by spiritual duty and patriarchal destiny. Now, he's reportedly chasing financial loose ends, scrambling to keep his kingdom afloat as the women he underestimated build thriving new chapters without him. Janelle is glowing, literally and figuratively, sharing her detox journey, her health transformation, and her newfound peace. She's smiling more, laughing more, radiating independence. Fans believe she's preparing to build her North Carolina home, groundbreaking not on Kody Pass soil, but on soil she controls, where no one can uproot her future. Meri, meanwhile, has stepped fully into her power, her positivity contagious, her energy magnetic, her commitment to self-worth shining brighter than it has in years. She's traveling, smiling, rebuilding, and refusing to be defined by a marriage that emotionally ended long before it legally dissolved. And all the while, Kody's reported frustration grows, blindsided that the women who once fought for him now refuse to send lifelines to support his new life. Viewers can't help but notice the irony. For decades, Kody preached family unity, shared blessings, shared burdens. Yet when he funneled emotional and financial attention overwhelmingly toward Robyn, believing that loyalty wouldn't come back to bite him, the cracks began, then widened, then collapsed into a canyon the size of Coyote Pass itself. Now, he's experiencing the consequences of neglecting the wives who built the Brown household foundation. If Christine's departure was the spark, Janelle and Meri's financial boundary setting is the full-blown wildfire. And let's talk about Robyn for a moment, because fans have theories. Some believe she's panicking behind the scenes, watching the empire she joined crumble financially and spiritually. Others speculate she still supports Kody's attempts to reclaim financial control, hoping to secure their future. Either way, the narrative is changing. No longer is Kody the confident patriarch standing tall in his convictions. Instead, he appears cornered, scrambling, facing a harsh reality. You cannot emotionally abandon people for years and then expect financial favors when your castle starts cracking. And if you thought this was the end, think again. Sources say Janelle and Meri may be considering legal channels to ensure their investments and contributions are protected going forward, especially if Kody continues poking at old financial ties. And TLC? They're reportedly loving the ratings surge. More conflict, more fallout, more empowerment arcs from the wives. The new era of sister wives isn't about one man and his calling. It's about women realizing they deserved better and taking their lives back, financially, emotionally, spiritually, publicly. Kody may have believed he could manipulate the narrative again. He may have hoped to reel in the financial reins. But just like his attempt to hold on to Christine backfired, just like his attempts to control family communication backfired, this money grab attempt has officially detonated in spectacular fashion, leaving him standing alone with dwindling influence, a shrinking family unit, and a public watching in stunned fascination as his former wives soar. In the end, the message is clear. When women free themselves, they don't look back, especially not to write checks for the man who underestimated them. And for viewers, this chapter is more than drama. It's a revolution. A reminder that resilience can outshine betrayal, and a powerful symbol that even the most controlling narratives can crumble when women rediscover their strength. The era of Kody's authority is over, and the era of Meri, Janelle, and Christine rising? It's just getting started. If anyone thought Kody Brown would simply slink back into the shadows after his attempted financial power play blew up in his face, they were sorely mistaken, because instead of quietly accepting defeat, he reportedly doubled down, trying to spin the narrative and salvage whatever scraps of authority he believes are still his. Friends close to the family say he tried to reframe his actions as protecting the family legacy, rather than what fans saw so clearly, a man scrambling to keep his lifestyle afloat and maintain the illusion that he still holds sway over the wives who finally walked away from his grip. But this time, Meri and Janelle didn't flinch, didn't soften, didn't bend, and that firmness only fueled Kody's frustration, sparking what insiders describe as one of the most desperate chapters of his life so far. He's not just losing wives. He's losing control, losing leverage, losing the narrative, and worst of all for him, losing the financial safety net he assumed he'd always have access to, because in his mind, Meri and Janelle would forever be tied to him through loyalty, religion, shared assets, and history. But history doesn't pay bills, loyalty doesn't replace respect, and religion doesn't rebuild trust once emotional abandonment has burned everything to ashes. The irony is painfully loud. For years, he told these women to follow the calling, to trust him, to stay faithful to the vision, while he emotionally checked out of marriages one by one, placing Robyn first, second, and third in his universe until the other wives were barely orbiting the edge. He believed he could retreat into a world where only Robin mattered, where the other wives existed only as footnotes and resources, where their dreams could be put on pause but his and Robin's plans deserved full funding, full support, full loyalty. And now here he is, allegedly trying to scrape together stability while watching the wives he believed would never dare push back, not only pushing back, but thriving in a world where his authority has no currency and his emotional manipulations hold no weight. Insiders describe heated phone calls, tense private conversations, and attempts from Kody to play mediator, peacemaker, and victim all at once, claiming he's being misunderstood, that he's only trying to close old business chapters and honor previous agreements. But Meri and Janelle aren't buying it anymore. They spent years listening to explanations, justifications, excuses. They spent years waiting for emotional reciprocity that never came. They spent years investing time, energy, dreams, and yes, their finances into a family plan that ultimately benefited one couple more than anyone else. Now, they're investing in themselves, and there is no universe in which they will hand over financial control again, especially not to the man who admitted on national television that he fell out of love with them long before the marriages officially ended. Fans online are calling it poetic justice, not cruel, not vengeful, but a long overdue realignment of power and dignity. After decades of living in spiritual servitude and sacrificing personal ambition to build a plural family dream, these women are now choosing themselves, their peace, their financial independence, their futures, and they are doing it unapologetically. Meanwhile, Robin, once positioned as the innocent victim in the shifting family dynamic, is suddenly feeling the aftershocks of her once sheltered position. The luxury home, the private school tuition, the carefully curated life she and Kody built, all of it is suddenly under pressure, because when financial threads start snapping, even the most cushion-filled bubble starts to deflate. Fans speculate that behind the scenes she is not celebrating or resting easy, because the reality is unavoidable. When Christine left, it was a heartbreak. When Janelle emotionally detached, it was a shift. But when Meri and Janelle financially cut the cord simultaneously, that was an earthquake, and the aftershocks are shaking the last remaining pillar, holding Kody's world up. And oh, how the tables have turned. The man who once dictated emotional dynamics is now allegedly trying to chase down paperwork, clarify asset trails, revisit old agreements, and use legal language that supposedly sounds binding. Yet just like his patriarch role, his financial authority existed only because the wives allowed it. And that allowance is gone. He can quote doctrine, he can quote old conversations, he can reference spiritual covenants and family dreams, but Janelle and Meri are quoting freedom, self-worth, and financial boundaries, and there's no verse powerful enough to override that. The most remarkable transformation through all of this?
Janelle.
Fans watched her go from calm mediator to exhausted survivor to empowered, glowing, unstoppable force. She is traveling more, smiling more, stepping into business ventures, prioritizing wellness, and for the first time in years, choosing joy without needing approval from a man who rarely acknowledged her emotional needs. And Meri? She is rebuilding her world with a self-confidence that is magnetic. Her business grows, her circle strengthens, her social presence shines, and hints of love, companionship, and renewed emotional trust are emerging around her. She is not looking backward. She is not clinging to memories. She is not waiting for someone to choose her. She is choosing herself. And Christine, the first domino to fall? She watches like a proud sister, fully aware that her freedom sparked a liberation movement within the Brown family structure. She showed them what life after emotional abandonment looks like, and the results are undeniable. 3 women standing taller than ever before. One man realizing too late that emotional control evaporates the moment the people you neglected stop believing you hold power over them. The ripple effect is spreading wider. Even the children see the shift, recognizing that strength isn't in staying stuck, but in walking away from emotional starvation towards self-respect and healing. And Kody? He stands in the ruins of a kingdom he assumed he would never lose, stunned that the women he took for granted no longer buy into his authority, financially or spiritually. This isn't just a breakup anymore. It isn't just a family restructuring. It's a collapse of a belief system, a dethroning of a self-proclaimed leader, a reckoning that came not through shouting, but through silence, boundaries, and financial emancipation. The drama isn't over, far from it. There will be more episodes, more statements, more subtle digs, more defensive lectures from Kody, more tears from Robin, more empowerment speeches from Janelle and Meri, and potentially more legal steps to protect assets and autonomy permanently. But one thing is already certain. Kody Brown is no longer the head of the Brown family empire. He is a footnote in the personal renaissance of the women who finally broke free. And for fans, this isn't just entertainment anymore. It's a cultural moment. A reminder that you cannot demand loyalty while giving neglect, cannot expect financial compliance after emotional betrayal, and cannot hold on to power when the people who gave it to you reclaim it. The wives aren't returning. The control isn't coming back. The era of Kody's dominance has expired, and the chapter of empowered brown women rising is permanently in motion, unstoppable, undeniable, and absolutely thrilling to witness. The world has watched them cry. Now the world gets to watch them conquer.